What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video I wanted to talk about Ridley Scott's comments on seeing an early cut of Alien Romulus, which is the next movie coming from director Fede Alvarez. So interestingly enough, we heard back in July that production had been wrapped on the film in terms of the actual shooting of it. So, in the intervening months, it seems that Fede has been hard at work on getting his early director's cut of the movie done to screen for the studio, to screen for Ridley Scott, and for other people to kind of get feedback on it before its release next August. So we're roughly 10 months away from the movie actually hitting theaters, which is pretty cool because originally it was going to be a direct-to-streaming movie, but after the success of Prey, which was straight to Hulu, it seems that 20th Century and Disney changed their sort of approach to these movies with Alien and Predator, and are actually putting this one in theaters. So basically, Fede Alvarez and Guillermo del Toro were recently at the Directors Guild of America Latino Summit, and they talked a bit about the movie. Del Toro asked him where he's at with his Alien movie, and more or less Fede said that he just finished the director's cut a week ago at the point of this recording, and had to go through the incredible process of sending it to Ridley to have his approval and, his thoughts and input over where the movie was in this rough version. Now, Ridley Scott is notoriously difficult when it comes to assessing, projects that he's been involved with. Obviously, it was tough with Blade Runner because he wasn't as hands-on. He didn't direct that movie. He was involved as a producer, and he probably had a lot of input over the story, at least in early versions. But that was ultimately Denis Villeneuve's movie, and he actually talked about that, I think, this year, that it was sad that he couldn't do Blade Runner, that he really wanted to do it, but he ended up doing Alien Covenant and some other movies. So, it's difficult when you're presenting something to someone that's so close to the property like Alien or Blade Runner. I think he even mentioned offhand Top Gun Maverick, that he wasn't a fan of that movie because it was close to him as well, because his late brother directed that, Tony Scott. So with regards to the Alien movie, Fede was really worried about what his response was going to be, because the movie was really bad and Ridley didn't like it. It could have been going back to the drawing board basically, because Scott has enough pull with the studio that he could have probably made some big decisions like that. But thankfully he actually liked the movie. According to Fede Alvarez, he said that it's effing great, that he actually zeroed in and said that the dialogue was really good too, which is interesting. Fede Alvarez, I'm not, too familiar with his filmography. I've seen Evil Dead, and, I haven't seen much else. I think Don't Breathe, I saw that. He did a short film that kind of got his stepping stone into Hollywood, which was kind of cool. It was more of like a VFX tech demo called Panic Attack, where a bunch of giant robots attack a city. But beyond that, he hasn't really directed a whole lot of movies, so it's interesting that he's really choosing his projects specifically. And with this Alien thing, it's an idea that he had and he presented to Ridley, so Ridley has been involved since the genesis of this idea. And for him to say that through all of this, through this process of filming and getting it, assembled into this rough form, that it still is really good, is a nice sign for fans of the project that it's probably turning out actually quite well. So drop your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you guys think about this? Me personally, on one hand it gets me excited, but on the other hand I don't really put a whole lot of stock into what Ridley says nowadays, at least with regards to Alien and the Alien franchise. Notoriously, Ridley Scott shut down Neil Blomkamp's attempted 5th Alien movie that was going to bring back Sigourney Weaver, Michael Biehn, and Lance Henriksen, and it was going to be a quasi-sequel to Aliens, disregarding the events of Alien 3 and 4. But for whatever reason, Scott vetoed that project. It was pretty close to actually happening. They had stages, pre-production was ramping up, but at the last minute, Scott didn't want it to happen because gearing up to do Alien Covenant at the same time, he didn't want, sort of competing Alien movies getting out there, I guess, mixed messages or what have you, but who knows. So I guess if he does say this movie is good, then that could be a good sign. I just have to wait and see. I have to see more tangible things from the movie, when the first teaser trailer comes out, when we get more like, a first look at the cast images and stuff, stuff like that. I think that'll get me more on board with the movie. But as for now, just having Ridley Scott saying, yeah, it's great, it could go either way. But like I said, share your thoughts below. If you guys are new to the channel and you like this video, subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I drop new content. If you want to hit me up on social media, you can find me in the links down below. And with all that being said, I'll catch you guys next time.